In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to create a keys method. Alright, so the purpose of this keys method, is it's going to allow us to return all the keys of a hash table. So that's pretty much these items here. So the grapes, bananas, kiwis, and pineapples. So it will not return the amount of items that you see here. Okay, only the keys. Alright, so the way we're going to do that is start by setting up the name here. We're going to call it keys. And this will not take any arguments. Okay, because we're not going to need to hash anything into our hash function. Alright, so next step is we're going to set up a result array here. And at the very end, we're going to return it. And this will contain all the keys inside our table. Alright, so now that we have that done, the first step is we're going to set up a for loop. We're going to do for let I equals 0, so long as I is less than this table dot length, and then I plus plus. Okay, next is we're going to check if this table I dot length, then enter this block of code here. Let me go ahead and do some visual setup here to show you guys how this right here is currently looking. So right now, you can imagine we have this array here. This overall container is this table here, which, as you can see, has a total of 3 slots available within it. So we can set up some commas here to indicate the available spots in this array. So we have 1, 2, 3. All right, this is how the table looks right now. And when we push in these values here, when we set them, what happens is we start off by generating the array, and then we push in the key and value pairs, just like so. But then if we have, we actually create an array here. I'm sorry. So if we have this here set, we first generate an array here, an empty array, and then we push into it another array with the key value pair. So then it would be like this key and then the value, just like that. Now, if we had a collision, then we pretty much just push in another array with a key value pair within it, just like that. All right. But the way that this table is looking is, if I show you here, okay, here's our hash table. Let's take a look at it. All right, so we see we have the 3 slots being made use of. The first slot has only 1. It has the 1 array with another array, which is, if we look at it, it has the grapes and then 4. So it's like this is grapes, and then here we have 4, and then the next slot over we have the bananas. So if I make space here, I have the bananas, and then that was how many? 6, right? So we got 6. And then in this final slot here at the very end, right here of our table, we have an array. We have 2 arrays within it here, because this is where the collision occurs. So we actually have 2 arrays within this outer array here. all right, and that's what contains the kiwis and the pineapples. So it's like kiwis, and that has 3, and then here we have the pineapples, and that is 2. All right, so this structure right here is how, based off what we're adding to our hash table, is how it currently looks like. All right, so this right here, this for loop, is first checking if we have anything within this outer array here, the outermost array here. In this case, we do. So at that point, we enter this loop, and then this if statement is checking if this table I, meaning, so this is I, this is I, and this is I as well. This one right here with the 2 arrays within it. All right, so that is I here. So if that has a length, we see we do have arrays in that. So we're gonna loop through each of these here by doing a for loop and do for let j equal 0, so long as j is less than this table I, then enter the loop, and then each iteration increment to j. Okay, so now as we enter here, what we want to do is at this moment here is where we want to start pushing in the keys, these keys inside our results array here that we had set up here. All right, so we're gonna do that by doing result dot push, and then do this table I, and then j. All right, now j, the j is this here, it's this right here, and for this collision here with the 2 arrays inside of it, it's the individual ones within it, within the outer array. So it's this is j, and then this is j. All right, and then what we want is we want to get the first index of that array, which is 0. So that's what would be the keys. So we would add 0 here, and that's what we actually want to push into this result here. So let's go ahead and check and make sure that that works. So if I do that, let's see here. All right, let's go give this a try here. I'm gonna do actually I'm gonna refresh this page here, go back, run the code. All right, now if I go here and do ht, and it was called keys. Okay, that's empty. Why was that empty? All right, so let's see here. Okay, it was I for let j this table I dot length. All right, so we left out the length there. Let's go ahead and try this again. Refresh, run this code again. All right, now I'm going to do ht and then keys. There we go. All right, so if I press enter, you see we have, this is the result array right here, which gives us all the keys, the grapes, bananas, kiwis, and pineapples, which was what we set over here. So you see it didn't add the values or the amount of the items that we had, only the keys. All right, and that was the purpose of this keys method right here, was to give us simply an array with all the key values. All right, so you see we have this working. There's just one thing I want to add to this, and that is yeah. All right, so if we didn't have, let's add an edge case to this thing. So let's just say if not this table dot length, then I'm just going to return undefined. All right, so So if there's nothing in the table at all, in this hash table, we can just immediately exit and return undefined without having to execute the rest of the code. All right, so that's just an extra step you can add here. All right, just to make sure that the table has something within it before we continue on with the code. All right, so we have a functional code keys method, and there you go.